So I know I have done this before. Like, I wanted this world checkup to be a very infrequent thing. I know, but plans change. Okay, I have done a lot of off-camera work, which is kind of not what I expected to do at all. But mainly just building farms and just mining. I did some off-camera mining because of course I did, and I I didn't get some not much of value. I guess a few diamonds or a whole lot of copper. Like the copper stonks have gone to through the moon, and a whole lot of gold, and a bit of iron and a bit of gold. Not much at all things considered. But I think that is really what I just had to talk about the plans I have. So, first thing first, I am probably expanding the wall because I built a mangrove harvesting area, what you might call it, and now I'm not going to use it ever. Now I just don't want to rebuild it or do something else with it, so I'm just going to expand because it's basically a giant flat area. So I'm just gonna expand the wall till it reaches that area and just use it as as a giant flat area. And just build on it. And I have plans that have changed from before. Like before, I had plans of just making one city and making the area that I am currently in that one city, and the style that I chose for that city is Victorian. I think that's what you would call the style. That's the main idea of what I'm trying to build there. But now I thought that, hey, it's a spooky season and I should build another city in, well, spooky season theme. And that quickly changed from spooky season theme to let's make a Japanese style building, Yolden, because that's one of the very few styles that I can actually pull off. I can't pull off many other styles. It's either going to be this, what you're saying, or Japanese. And now, for that, I plan to build using mangrove logs. And boy, howdy, mangrove logs are a pain to get. Like, a big pain to get. So, first and foremost, I had to build a slime farm because this uses an incredible amount of slime. It's it's kind of insane how much slime it needs. And I actually was planning to make a slime farm before, well, getting caught up on this. So I just finished the slime farm because I was really missing only one or two things. And I had gotten those one or two things. So I just started construction on camera. But then I realized, boy, howdy, this would be a giant pain if you just had to sit there and watch my goofy ass just looking every 2 seconds at what steps I need to follow, and completely wrecking, completely failing at the simple task of following steps. Because most of these two farms in particular were me following a tutorial by Shulkercraft. That guy makes pretty good tutorials as far as most tutorials are concerned. I may put his build link in the description, maybe. Actually, probably I will. And the mangrove farm was also his design, but there were a few problems because a few of the items that he listed were a bit less that you actually needed to build the farm, and a few items he didn't list, which is, hey, that happens. It's a mistake. Who cares if mistakes happen? And I really liked actually the result because both farms produce a lot of stuff. And well, now I think I will eventually build a bone wheel farm, which is not a good thing. No, I really do not want to. So for now, I'm going to procrastinate and use bone blocks from the Nether because, well, you can find bone blocks in the Nether, and every bone block gives 9 bone meal, which is an incredible deal, I tell you. So for a bit, I'm going to use them, and then eventually maybe build a super smelter. Maybe that's a big maybe, and then after that, I maybe will build a quartz farm, which is actually probably almost a guarantee. I mean, maybe before building that, I will build a gold farm and then a quartz farm because, well, the style that I am trying to emulate needs quartz, like a lot of quartz. And one of the best ways that I know of getting quartz is making a bartering farm. So I'm going to get that done. And I really think that this idea of making a very, how do I put it, stylized Japanese structure, like the olden style Japanese slash Chinese structure. I don't think Chinese, that's not it. But yeah, that's the style that I want for the second city. And the bridge that you probably have seen by now, that is half mangrove and half spruce, is the bridge that leads to that. And maybe I will build a few other bridges because I intend to carry this along the banks of the river thing that's right next to the area, the village that I live in. So I will probably carry it very far and maybe build another style of building if I can. That's a big if I can learn a style that I can do justice. And I really, really don't expect I will, but hey, it's worth a try, I guess. So yeah, it's been fun just building not farms. Farms, man, I was really bored at the end of the mangrove farm because it took me a while to build. And it's a fairly complex farm, so that kind of checks out that it takes a while to build and it actually works pretty flawlessly, all things considered. Which is a kudos to tutorial designer, I guess, because Sheltercraft's tutorials are very easy to follow, and most of the farms that I've even built in other worlds are from his tutorials, which really, really make the building process easy. And I think he has tutorials on basically anything. Like, I found mangrove farm tutorial by him. I will probably find a bone meal farm tutorial. Probably not a gold farm tutorial. I don't think that he has. But really, I'm not in the mood to grind out a lot more. So I will use the amount of quartz that I have already and just use it for a bit, just waiting there until, well, the farm is built eventually. And I think it will last me for maybe a few houses. Not many houses. I really don't think it will last me for a large number of houses. Just maybe one or two, and I think that is fine for now. I mean, I really just want to have a break from the incredible amount of extra work that is they're just building farms, and I spent quite some time building just two farms. I will put links to both farms, and I probably have shown you both farms. And then another thing that I did off camera was extend the sugarcane thing, like sugarcanes at the banks of the river, whatever you want to call it. The sugarcane that I've probably shown you by now. I've expanded it all, well, most of the way to the end. And that's because I think it just looks funny seeing lime green everywhere. And I think that's mildly funny. And so, yeah, that's really what the plan is right now. It is to get a lot of quartz, get a lot of, well, gold, and probably get XP farm as well. I think I'll just do the gold farm. And I think I will also put a quartz farm nearby or just in it, like in the form of bigling bartering, because of course, because who doesn't want bartering farms because they are basically the best farms there are. But at best, but one of the better farms. It's like villager trading halls. You can get a lot out of them villagers, and you can also get a lot out of them piglins. And maybe a few months from now, I will, when I have done both of these two tasks, I maybe will do a raid, maybe not. That's just that's a big maybe. I really think that I will enjoy just having fun and making stuff. So yeah, I've been really excited to build this part of the build, I guess. And I'm sad that I didn't do much for Spooktober or Shocktober, just outside of one bridge. I should have done more, but I really didn't have many ideas. It didn't even register with me. Wait a minute. It's Shocktober. To me, it just was another month of the year, nothing else really. And I should have really done something. So instead of that, I'm going to continue on building my Japanese style buildings, and I hope eventually, after some time, at least a few are laid down, and at least the simplest, because really I have no more idea of what to do except for the absolute simplest of houses. And man, I should really look up reference images, because most of buildings that I'm building currently, they don't have any reference except one. The first one had a reference. All of the other just out of my brain. There was no other reference. There was no other, hey, look from here, do this, that, none of that crap. It was all just into my brain. And I'm fairly happy with most of the buildings that have been done currently. And I hope to continue building. And man, I think my style is just set in stone at this point. Like, I have built another building, well, on a creative world, not actually in survival, on a different world that I will copy over, will use. Again, I don't know if I've shown you most of the stuff that I've talked about, because, well, I made this audio portion before all of the background image footage, whatever you want to call it. And again, I'm talking about the background footage. That's the world that I'm talking about. That's the world I'm checking in on. And I really wanted this series to be more of a once in a month type of deal, maybe once in 2 months every so often. But that idea went out of the window. I mean, of look at it as a whole, like I did it twice over the course of 3 months, which is, I guess, in a sense, follows the idea. But it's been I've done two in the same month, because man, my brain can't stay consistent with the ideas. And yeah, I think the idea that I had of making making my current world into two cities, I think that's incredibly doable. Like, if I do it one building at a time, I think it will eventually be big enough to satisfy great my desire of making something that is a bit more of a sight to see. And just realized I need to make a few copper golems to statuefy. So yeah, that's been the checkup as a whole. That's been most of the things that I have done off camera, or have done and I have been thinking about. And that's really what I have installed for your viewing pleasure. Unless I do something else in the future, maybe again, this is all completely flexible. Maybe I do a fourth city or fifth city. That's just whatever I'm in the mood of doing currently. And I'm really in the mood of building a new house, which I'm probably building in the background right now. So yeah, that's it. That's all that I have to talk about. Bye.